If you walked past his house, you'd probably think a college student lived there. Meet Elon Musk, history's first trillionaire. With his fortune, he could afford any palace on Earth, but he chose to live in a 375 square foot house that he bought for $50,000, cheaper than one used Tesla. Hit subscribe right now because everyone who's still here in the next 60 seconds is about to know something 99% of people don't. There are now 3,428 billionaires in the world, a record high, together $4 trillion richer than last year. That's basically a new billionaire born every single day of the year. Elon Musk leads the second richest person by nearly $800 billion. That gap alone is bigger than most countries' entire economies. In June 2026, Musk became history's first trillionaire after SpaceX's record IPO. A word that used to only exist in sci-fi movies just became real. The U.S. holds nearly 1,000 billionaires, more than the next 9 countries combined. America isn't just winning the billionaire game, it's playing a different game. U.S. billionaires added $1.4 trillion in 2025 alone, roughly Spain's entire GDP. Women hold just 13.3% of all billionaire wealth, despite being half the population. The wealth gap isn't just rich versus poor, it's a gender story too. Tech billionaires average $70.6 in net worth, the richest group by far. Forget oil and real estate. Code is the new oil. Over 170,000 people are waitlisted for the tiny home linked to Musk. A billionaire's starter kit house now has a longer waitlist than some concert tickets. Forbes' 2026 list grew by 400 people, one new billionaire almost every day. Getting rich used to take a lifetime. Now it happens on a daily schedule. The world's richest woman gained $29 in a year from a Walmart stock surge. Her fortune grew more in 12 months than most companies are worth entirely. Warren Buffett still lives in the house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. He could buy that house 129,000 times over and still chooses not to move. Buffett openly calls himself cheap. Rare to hear a billionaire say the quiet part out loud. Zuckerberg drives a $30,000 Volkswagen GTI with a manual transmission. The man behind $1 trillion company still shifts his own gears. Zuckerberg and his wife ate at McDonald's during their Italian honeymoon. Fancy Italian restaurants everywhere, and he picked the Golden Arches. One Indian billionaire still flies economy and takes a 3-wheeled taxi from the airport. He could own the airline. He takes a rickshaw instead. The same billionaire personally monitors toilet paper usage in his company's offices. Billionaire status unlocked. Toilet paper audits still happening. A Canadian billionaire drives a regular Dodge Ram pickup truck. Depression-era habits die hard, even with a 10-figure bank account. One oil magnate bought new clothes only once every 5 years. Fast fashion meets slow fashion. Billionaire edition. One billionaire leases land for $1 a year to help with the housing crisis. A whole plot of land priced like a gas station candy bar. Buffett's house today would cost just $43 per square foot in original terms. A house that cheap today would get snapped up in an hour. Buffett says he doesn't enjoy a $100 meal more than a McDonald's hamburger. He could afford Michelin stars every night. He picks the drive-thru. Buffett collects ukuleles. He owns 22 of them. The world's most famous investor's biggest indulgence is a tiny guitar. He also spends up to 8 hours a week playing bridge. Billionaire schedule: run an empire, then play card games for fun. Zuckerberg wears the same outfit daily to avoid decision fatigue. Same hoodie, different billions, every single day. Bezos and Musk reportedly prefer walking to think through hard decisions. Turns out the world's biggest decisions get made on foot, not in boardrooms. Many billionaires deliberately declutter their homes for mental clarity. Turns out having everything doesn't mean keeping everything. Dish Network's chairman packs his own lunch despite his billions, a literal brown bag lunch made by a man worth billions. Jay Leno says he never spent a cent of his Tonight Show earnings. He earned a fortune on TV and lived entirely off side gigs instead. Some billionaires wake at 3 a.m., others work past midnight. No standard 9 to 5. Their calendars don't follow the rules the rest of us live by. Many top executives simplified daily decisions like food and clothes to save mental energy for the big calls, less thinking about socks, more thinking about billion-dollar deals. Musk paid $920,000 for the real underwater car from a James Bond film, a movie prop that can't even actually drive on land properly. Musk wanted to retrofit it with a Tesla drivetrain to make it truly transform. He wanted the movie fantasy to actually work in real life. Nicolas Cage once bought a real dinosaur skull. Most people buy art. He bought a 65 million-year-old skeleton. He also owned a pair of albino cobras at one point. Pet ownership, next level. Kanye West installed gold-plated toilets in his homes. Even the bathroom had to make a statement. Jay-Z once bought a $200 gold-encased champagne bottle, a single bottle worth more than most people's houses. Lady Gaga spent $50,000 on a ghost detector. Fame, fortune, and still worried about ghosts in the hallway. Investor Steve Cohen collects art featuring sharks, a very specific and very expensive taste. Paris Hilton built her dogs a mansion-sized house. Her dogs might live better than most humans. Zuckerberg is building a 5,000 square foot underground bunker on the Hawaiian island of Kauai, connected to two mansions by tunnels. Forget a panic room. He's building a panic island. The bunker has soundproof, keypad-locked doors, its own food, water, and an escape hatch. It's basically a five-star apocalypse hotel. Musk built a 4 square kilometer Texas compound worth $35 million with separate homes for his 12 children and their mothers. That's not a house. That's basically its own zip code. The top 12 U.S. billionaires quadrupled their combined wealth from $608 billion in 2020 to $2.7 trillion by 2026. 4 years, 4 times the money. That's not growth, that's an explosion. One Silicon Valley co-founder tried building a personal bunker in New Zealand, believing it's the safest place on Earth. He picked an entire country as his backup plan. Forbes' 2026 Celebrity Billionaires list added Beyoncé, Roger Federer, Dr. Dre, and James Cameron. Music, sports, and movies all now have their own billionaire club members. Reddit's CEO got laser eye surgery specifically in case of doomsday, so he wouldn't need glasses to survive. Prepping for the apocalypse, one LASIK appointment at a time. Every one of the world's top 10 richest people is worth over $140 billion. The entry fee to that club alone beats most national budgets. Tech billionaire wealth largely comes from a small group who held equity before the AI boom hit. Being early to the party turned out to be worth more than the party itself. Billionaire wealth grew 20.8% in 2025, outpacing even the S&P 500's strong 16% return. Billionaires are beating the stock market at its own game. Including land purchases, Zuckerberg's bunker will cost around $270 million, and reportedly, roughly 15 similar billionaire projects exist worldwide. Turns out doomsday prep is basically its own billionaire hobby now. Bezos, unlike other tech billionaires, seems more focused on flaunting wealth, like a lavish Venice wedding, than building bunkers. While others dig underground, he's throwing parties above ground. Over 50 new billionaires emerged from the AI industry alone in 2025, a single industry minting more new billionaires than most countries have ever produced. AI startups received over $202 billion in venture funding in 2025. That's more money than some entire industries generate in a year. Up to 56% of U.S. billionaire wealth gains since 2017 may never be taxed due to inheritance tax rules. More than half that fortune might legally never touch the tax system. OpenAI's CEO reportedly stockpiled gas masks, antibiotics, gold, and weapons at home for a catastrophe. The man building AI is also the one prepping hardest for what comes after. Zuckerberg himself downplays the bunker rumors, calling it just a basement. Calling a $270 million bunker a basement is quite the understatement. While some billionaires save on cars and houses, others secretly prepare to outlast the apocalypse in bunkers worth hundreds of millions. Maybe the strangest contrast in the entire world of billionaire wealth. If you made it this far, you now know more about billionaires than 99% of people. Subscribe if you want more facts that'll make you say, wait, what?